Moving into our last story of the day, some feel-good news here is you got Arnold Schwarzenegger. Get in the chopper. Fills giant pothole in LA neighborhood after waiting weeks for help. He says this is crazy. It is crazy. It's the state of California, man, which you were governor of. And I would like to point out, he said he was a Republican when he was running. Arnold Schwarzenegger was not a Republican, folks. He was sitting there getting on the ticket because he needed the votes to get in. So actor turned politician Arnold Schwarzenegger took matters into his own hands when after the city did not repair a large pothole in his Los Angeles neighborhood. If you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, folks, please do so, because you're seeing how the left is destroying not just our localities and our states, but our country from the inside out. Leave us a comment down below. Is your locality, if you're in a blue state, heck, even if you're in a red state, let us know. Is your locality, your state, are they taking care of their roads? Because I live in California, specifically Orange County, the southern part of California, and our roads suck. And the reason why I bring this up is because if our roads suck here and we have the best weather in the country, by far, hands down, that's why everybody comes here. They don't come here because it smells like poop or because there's poop on the streets or people shooting up heroin on every city block. No, they come here because the weather is great. Now, if our weather's so good and our roads are some of the worst in the country, what do the roads look like in other states? Because from my experience of traveling to almost every other state with hockey, your roads are pretty damn good compared to ours. So now what we're having to do is fix our own roads. But are your roads pristine? Are they clear? Are they look pristine and nice and gorgeous where your taxpayer dollars are at work, as Trump would say? Let us know in the comment section below. We have a video clip here of actual Schwarzenegger, the Terminator, filling these potholes here in one moment. The former Republican governor of California posted a video to social media of himself pouring concrete into a hole to fix it up. Quote, today, after the whole neighborhood has been upset about this giant pothole that's been screwing up cars and bicycles for weeks, I went out with my team and fixed it. So there's a clip here on Twitter of Schwarzenegger fixing these potholes here. I'm going to play it for you in just one moment. And it's so interesting that I actually stumbled upon this article because literally I have a buddy that I'm working with that hit a pothole in California on the way to work last week. And he had to repair his tire, or at least put on a spare tire in the parking structure for where I work. So it's amazing how we're talking about potholes here because they're everywhere around California, and he got a flat tire due to one. So now you have citizens that pay taxpayer dollars to get this stuff repaired that have to spend their own money to repair something of which they're already paying for. Typical Democrat ran areas. Pretty good music. All right, there we go. So for those that are listening, I guess this is called concrete. It looks like asphalt, but you got the Schwarzenegger there on the with his Terminator glasses. They're filling the hole. It's actually a pretty big pothole.
You're welcome.
I've seen bigger in my area, that's for sure. That's what she said.
Thank you.
But
3 weeks I've been waiting for this hole to be closed.
Thank you. Bye.
as a lady's driving a BMW. Folks, this is probably a bougie area, I'd imagine. Hold on a second. Can we go back a little bit? If you look where his feet are, it looks like they were doing some road work previously, and whoever did the road work previously just didn't fill in and do their job correctly. We see this from Caltrans in California all the time. No joke. There's always construction work going on in the state of California, and you never actually see anybody working. Somebody back me up here if you live in California, whether it's southern or northern. I never see anybody working, like ever. There's always construction going on, nobody working. So now you got somebody that clearly did some sort of road work here and didn't even fill it in correctly. And so you're having somebody spend their own money repairing for something that probably the city did and didn't do their job correctly. Typical. Why does he look like he's struggling? I mean, Arnold's old. Let's give the guy a break, okay? Yeah, clearly there was road work done. They just didn't fill it in correctly. Lovely. The government does everything right, you guys. So now he's pouring what looks like, I don't know if that's sawdust or dirt on the hole, but hey, you know what? Good on him for actually doing something in his community. And we need to see more of that, to be quite frank. We need to see more people going out and doing things for the community because that's exactly what our nation was built around. People doing things for their community. And we've seen kind of a flip-flop. Before, how it used to work was if you needed help or you wanted to get something done, you would look to a family member to either help you or help them out. then you would go to the larger family as a whole. Then you would go to your neighbor, like literally your next door neighbor or somebody that lives on the street to ask for help. Then after that, then you would go to your local church or synagogue to seek after help or to get something done. After that, then you go to your locality, whether that's your mayor or councilman or woman. Then after that, you'd go to the state level and look at the senator of that area or that district, or the congressman or congresswoman of that district. Then after that, then you go to the federal level. Now it's completely flip-flopped. And you can thank the Democrat Party for this. It's now, well, let's see what the federal government, the president, can do for us, which isn't how things are supposed to be done. And then, well, let's see what my senator of my state can do, then my governor of my state. Let's see what they can then do for me on a state level. And then we'll look at the local level. And then we'll look at our churches and synagogues, which we all know basically faith and religion is just going downhill exponentially here in America. Then after that, then I'll ask my neighbor, which isn't going to happen. And then after that, I'll ask a family member, which isn't going to happen. And then after that, who else knows? But basically, the Democrat Party has completed a massive bleep storm in our society and our culture here in America. It's flip-flop things of which isn't supposed to be. So the video showed a woman slowing her car down to thank him as he worked on filling the pothole. I mean, honestly, you probably could have given the guy some $5. You're driving a nice BMW, but who knows? She could be in debt herself. Probably bought a car that she couldn't afford. Who knows? I mean, that's a bougie area. She probably bought it cash for all the hell I know. Well, here's the thing. Los Angeles Democratic Mayor Karen Bass, who I've actually seen speak before she was ever popular. I think this was in I want to say I was in Compton at the time. I was in some bar and she was giving a talk there, and it was a terrible talk. Let me just tell you, it was all about race and pushing out all this oppression that's happening and all this other stuff. Mind you, she's the mayor of Los Angeles, but she's being oppressed, you guys. Said at a press conference last week that the city is working diligently to address similar problems throughout the city. I've been hearing this for like 20 years, by the way. The same exact messaging I've been listening to for freaking 20 years from every Democrat that's ever spoken in this county. Now, I'd also like to point out the fact that Democrats keep voting for these idiots that aren't fixing anything because they love driving through potholes. And then when somebody's actually fixing it, they go, oh, thank you. Yeah, you could have just probably voted Republican and they'd probably get it done. Well, city workers are pulling out all the stops, but not just to prepare for every pothole that is reported, but also to be proactive about it. That means driving around the city, throughout the district, and all others to assess the conditions of our streets and identify and repair the damage right away. Why were you not doing this already? We are literally the highest tax state in the union, or at least in the top 5 for sure, and we have the worst roadways ever. The amount of tax that we literally pay tax, you guys, on our gasoline here. I think we pay like 50 cents for every gallon in tax. That's supposed to go to our roadways to fix it, on top of already what we pay outside of paying for gas to pay for our roadways. We're getting so ripped off in this state, it's head spinning. On ABC News reported from last week that the Bureau of Street Services, who even knew there was such a thing, received 19,279 requests since December to fix potholes throughout the city. Of those, they said to have repaired 17,132. Now, repaired, not actually fixed, right? Here's the thing. Well, let's throw some dirt in the hole. It's repaired. It's figured out. No, it's not. I mean, this stuff's popping up everywhere. It's terrible. Bass also made headlines in December while dealing with the entirely different issue in Los Angeles. The left politician said she planned to eliminate homelessness, which we've heard of countless times, by providing shelter for anyone living on the streets. To give you an idea of how much this is going to cost, they want to basically take these shipping containers that you see on the cargo ships out there in the ports, or you see on trucks driving through your local areas, and they want to convert them into housing for homeless people, basically to live free. Do you just want to throw out a number on how much do you think it's going to cost per one to build? Just in the live chat, but also in the comment section, just take 5 seconds right now. Think of a number. Don't research it. Just take a guess. How much do you think it's going to be to build one of these units? Just one. Just throw out a random number. 5,000. I mean, it's cheap, right? Is it 10,000? 15? Like, how much do you think? Again, it's going to cost the taxpayer to build one container that's going to house some homeless people. Probably a homeless person. Okay, so everybody got their numbers in, right? Everybody got it in the comment section below, not just live chat, but comment section. It's going to cost anywhere from $300,000 to $600,000 to do this. Yes, you heard me correctly. $600,000 per container. But government does everything right, you guys. They do it the best way. You get quality from government. You also get the cheapest type of stuff, which is amazing because you have the Democrats want to push universal health care. Well, it's cheap, but the quality's ass. Quote, no, these are not sweeps at all. This is getting people to move on their own. But then after the person leaves, sanitation is absolutely going to have to be there, she said of the plan. No question about it. But this is not coercing people. This is not ticketing people or incarcerating people. This is moving people from tents to hotels or motels. By the way, they've already tried this in Orange County. It didn't really work. Furthermore, they tried this over the course of decades. It didn't work. These people want to be on the streets, and sometimes they're being even incentivized to be on the streets. What's also interesting is, she says they're not ticketing people or incarcerating people. I guarantee you, if I were to go park on the street right now in Los Angeles, I would be ticketed. I would be 100% ticketed, but a guy could park his RV on the street with full bedding on the street, like on the curb, okay, curb and street, full walls, steal electricity from a building. Actually, you could see the cord itself. They'll have lamps outside, full dresser drawers. Basically take your room or your living room and put it on the street or on the curb that's also going into the street. You won't be ticketed then. They actually encourage that behavior. But if I were to do that, I would be ticketed. My car would be towed. I'd probably be incarcerated. I would probably have to pay the city to clean that up as well. But if you're homeless for some reason and you're a Democrat, I just 100% get away with it. Oh, and by the way, here's like $600, a free cell phone. Here's a meal plan. Here's a ticket to go into a hotel that's offered by the taxpayers as well. Oh, that pothole over there that you're taking a dump in? Oh, don't even worry about that. We'll just have that filled in by all the dumps and syringes that we're going to pick up off the street. Don't worry about it one bit. The Democrats suck at everything. They're going to continue to suck at everything, and people are going to still vote for it because they love it, and then they'll bitch about it later because they're having to sit in it. And then once they're tired of sitting in it and living in this swampo place called California and Los Angeles, then they'll move to a red area where all you live, and then they're going to make that a dumpster fire as well and vote in the same policies of which crippled Los Angeles, Orange County, the state of California, and other great states that used to be great states.
I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Bald Brad Show. If you did, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all our future content.